What's going on, everyone? So, the Sacramento Kings have made De'Aaron Fox available, which I'm sure by now most, if not all of you, are aware. However, the Los Angeles Lakers are apparently not on the list of teams that De'Aaron Fox is interested in going to, that it appears most likely he's going to end up with the San Antonio Spurs. San Antonio has a ton of interest in De'Aaron Fox, and De'Aaron Fox apparently wants to go to San Antonio. With him being gone and departed, we'll see if it actually happens at the trade deadline, because you got to keep in mind the Kings don't have to trade him at the trade deadline. They can be patient. They can wait into next season if they needed to, because he still has one more year on his deal. But I imagine that they'll probably want to get this done sooner rather than later. If the Spurs are willing to pony up what they need to pony up, I think he'll probably be a San Antonio Spur come the NBA trade deadline. However, if they end up trading De'Aaron Fox, which direction does Sacramento go now? Right? Do they just decide to hey, whatever we get back, let's kind of retool this a little bit? Or do you look to hit the reset button? Do you look to go and say, hey, you know what, let's just start selling everybody off? And do they look to maybe trade a guy like Domantas Sabonis? Right? Do you maybe go look to add in a Sabonis? Now, a guy like Sabonis, right, defensively is a problem. However, he is excellent at everything else. You're talking about the best rebounder in the league. You're talking about a guy that gets you a triple-double, if not near triple-double on a nightly basis. And Anthony Davis wants to play the power forward full-time, right? And you look at all the other center options outside of Walker Kessler, who would be great, would be ideal, but he seems to be off the table. Who would be better than Sabonis, right? I mean, you're talking about a legit all-star level center, one of the top 5 centers in the league, if not top 4, right? 3, something like that, right? I guess you could say Jokic, Embiid, and then Anthony Davis are the top 3 fully healthy, right? But if Anthony Davis is power forward, you could argue Sabonis is up there, right? Talk about a guy that legitimately go get you a 20-20 with 11 assists on a random night, right? I think it's worth something to explore. I don't like the idea of investing $40 million into a center, right? Obviously, if it was Jokic or Embiid or something like that, then yeah, sure. But Sabonis, I like. Does Sabonis, LeBron, and AD make you a contender? That's the question. Now, Sabonis and AD as a foundation moving forward, that'd be great. But does Sabonis and Anthony Davis, if that's your duo, is that duo good enough for you to win championships? Again, I don't know, right? I think it would come down to who are the other pieces that you put alongside them. But having something say a starting 5 of Austin Reeves, or would you have to give up Austin Reeves in that deal? Would the Lakers give up Austin Reeves for Sabonis? Probably not. I don't think that the Lakers would give up that for Sabonis. But Sabonis' market might not be super crazy. Right? A team like the Warriors makes some sense for Sabonis, so maybe the Warriors would get in the mix of that. But they may be going and trading for Jimmy Butler. So if they go and trade for Jimmy Butler, it's ooh, well, there goes that. So I don't know, how many teams need a center? Right? The Lakers are one of them. Right? So you might not have a ton of competition. So you might not have to give up an Austin Reeves. Although I'm not going to lie, if you were, if it was Max Christie or Austin Reeves, I'd probably give up Austin Reeves and keep Max Christie, because you need the defense and 3-and-D style alongside a guy like Sabonis, right? So, imagine if you had say, because here's the thing, there's multiple ways to look at this, right? Because Sabonis is so good as a playmaker. He's not Jokic level, but he's right there. He's the next tier down. You have LeBron and Sabonis right now as your playmakers. So do you do something where you go Max Christie, Dorian Finney-Smith, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Sabonis? Right? If you were to trade Austin Reeves in that type of deal and just have that size and that defense out on the perimeter, slotted alongside, the size of the interior, and then LeBron is kind of that glue man. Because you can operate LeBron, you just need initiators, right? LeBron can operate as your point guard, and you can run your offense through LeBron and Sabonis, right? You're talking about 2 guys that go get you 11-plus assists a night. So you could run your offense through those 2 and have them kind of be your pseudo, center, point center and point forward, right? And then, Max Christie's even initiated so far. So do you go and maybe do something like that? If you're willing to trade Reeves, right, you could still go get a Bruce Brown if you wanted to, right? Like, let's say you sent Reeves out to a Sabonis. So you need to get to 40 million with Sabonis. So you could do something like Austin Reeves is 12 million. You could do, say, Gabe Vincent would get you to 23 million. And then do Jared Vanderbilt. That'd get you to 33 million. And then kind of piece together with like a Hood Schifino and Christian Wood. And then like, that guy, maybe you find a third team to kind of make it all work. And then like keep Rui and then have Rui plus, like a vet minimum or two and then go get a Bruce Brown. Or, you could piece it to where maybe Rui is part of the deal for Sabonis, and then you just got to get to the 23 million for that. So you go because Austin Reeves and Rui plus Gabe Vincent is Sabonis, right? So then you could just piece Vando and everything else to go get Bruce Brown if you wanted to, because that would be essentially 60. What would that be, like 63 million? You need to send out like 65 million, but again, Rui and Reeves get you to 29 million, almost 30 million. So, you're just piecing in the rest of the pieces there. Or do you go maybe give up a first for an IO, right? Work something out with Sabonis, depending on what you have to give up. And then maybe go get an IO, a cheap guard that can slot in, give you that defense point of attack. Again, there's options is my point, right? Especially if you're willing to trade Reeves in a Sabonis deal. If the Lakers would be willing to trade Reeves in a Sabonis deal, it's just, again, it's probably not my favorite idea. I'd probably, personally, if it was me, I'd be like, nah, you know what? Let him go elsewhere or stay with Sacramento. Just because, again, he's 40 million. If he was 30 million, sure, I would still prefer, not saying that he's better, but I would still prefer a Miles Turner. I just think fit-wise would make more sense. Sabonis, fit-wise, might be a little bit of a struggle because he's best, again, with the ball in his hands, right? As a center that can dominate around the rim and stuff like that. Is that what's best alongside Anthony Davis? But you could argue that would be a really big Anthony Davis move, right? Anthony Davis wants a center. Anthony Davis wants the Lakers to make a move for a center. There's not very many centers that are better than Sabonis. And you have Sabonis and Anthony Davis as your front court for the next, Sabonis 28. So, next 5+ years. Not just that, but Sabonis isn't reliant on his athleticism. His game should age very well. So you should have Sabonis another 8 years minimum, if not more, right? He might be able to play till he's 40, right? And be very good and be efficient, right? So it's just but it's a lot of money that you're taking on and investing into. So if you're the Lakers, you have to be very confident that Sabonis makes a lot of sense and that is one of the glue pieces for now and the future. Rebounding the basketball, you'd be great, right? Scoring the basketball, especially on the interior, you'd be great between LeBron, Sabonis, and Anthony Davis. But you need the three-point shooting, which is why I think you'd have to keep Max Christie, right? You'd have to keep a Dorian Finney-Smith. And then in the offseason, I think you'd need to go get a couple more pieces. LeBron was willing to take a discount for, Jonas Valanciunas. Would he be willing to take a discount to have Sabonis, right? Which is a souped-up charge, Jonas Valanciunas, right? And if he's willing to kind of take the hit to free up the full mid-level exception, right? You still could go, you could just go sign Bruce Brown in the offseason, right? Or sign another piece in the offseason or something. Let's say you still went and traded for Bruce Brown. You could just still go, keep Dorian Finney-Smith, maybe give him a new contract. You got LeBron take a discount, clear off whatever 20, 25 million so you can free up the full mid-level exception. Now you bring that in and you're off to the races and ready to go. I think it's definitely something to consider. I think it's something that you at least explore. But personally, I feel like I'd rather go with pieces. I'd almost prefer to go with a cheaper center, right? The thing is that a Nikola Vucevic, you could argue might be a better fit because his ability to stretch the floor. Although Sabonis can stretch the floor, but he's also double the price, right? One guy's 20 million, one guy's 40 million. Is Nikola Vucevic 20 million worse than Sabonis, not to mention what you'd have to give up to go and acquire Sabonis compared to a Valanciunas, right? So I'd probably prefer to go with Valanciunas if you were looking to go that route. The only argument over Sabonis to Valanciunas, or Nikola Vucevic, sorry. I was just saying Valanciunas. Nikola Vucevic. Sorry, the V's are mixing me up. I'd rather Nikola Vucevic over Sabonis. There we go. Now we're back on track. Okay, so, but the only argument for Sabonis over a Vucevic would be to go and acquire or to have that long-term piece, a guy that you have for the next, 6 to 8 years. Where Vucevic, how much longer is Vu going to be around? Like, how much longer do you have Vu for? Right, 2 years, maybe 3 years. Right, like, so you're talking about half the years, but he's also half the price. So, again, I think that there's an argument either way. But personally, I would probably stay away from Sabonis. That's just me. But I've seen a lot of Laker fans be like, hey, what about Sabonis? So figured, why not talk about it? Let's talk about it. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you like the idea of Sabonis? Think, stay as far away from Sabonis as possible. He's not the answer. He's not the piece that we need. However you feel, whatever your thoughts are. Either way, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot, so we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.